Modeling is not for fat ladies. Go home! I must surely be a global model!
In the heart of Lagos, where fashion worships the slim and flawless, a woman named Amara refused to disappear. They said she was too big to model, too dark to be beautiful, too bold to belong. But instead of shrinking, she built something they could never ignore: a brand, a revolution, and a legacy. This is the story of Amara, the fat model everyone laughed at until she redefined beauty itself. You are watching Folktales by Chisom, where African stories come alive. Sit tight, relax, and enjoy the story. The lights were blinding, the music loud, and the air smelled of perfume, hairspray, and arrogance. Ebony Amara stood backstage at Lagos Fashion Fiesta, clutching the edge of her Ankara robe with trembling fingers. It was supposed to be her big break, the night she would prove that a curvy woman could stand tall on the runway among the leper queens of Lekki and Victoria Island. But the whispers had already begun. Who allowed her in? Is this plus-size casting or plus embarrassment? Now this kind person won't wear designer clothes? She could hear them, the other models, the stylists, even some of the assistants pretending not to stare. Her makeup artist, a soft-spoken woman named Ireti, tried to encourage her. Don't mind them, Jare. Confidence is your best cloth tonight. Just walk, own it. But her heart was pounding so loudly she could barely breathe. The runway coordinator, a bald man with a headset, glanced at his clipboard and sighed when he saw her name. Ah, Madam Plus Size, just do small waka, don't block the lights, I beg. His words stung like acid, but Amara smiled faintly, nodded, and moved forward. When the music changed to an Afrobeat instrumental, she stepped out into the dazzling light. Phones lifted instantly. For a moment, she thought, maybe this is it. Maybe they'll see me differently tonight. But just 3 steps in, her heel caught on the uneven carpet. She stumbled, tried to regain balance, and though she didn't fall, the audience roared with laughter. Someone from the crowd shouted, "Orobo, don't fall, wrong way, oh!" Cameras flashed, laughter echoed like thunder. She finished her work anyway, head high, heart breaking. By the next morning, the clip had gone viral. The video showed her stumbling, the camera zooming in cruelly on her body as captions popped up. The wheel that thought she could swim on a runway. Hashtag leper goals. Hashtag runway Oroba. Her Instagram DMs were filled with insults. Even fashion blogs used her picture for jokes about what not to wear on stage. It felt like every dream she had built, every rejection she had survived, had been crushed under the weight of that laughter. Amara didn't go to work that week. She turned off her phone, stayed in her one-room apartment in Surulere, and wept until her eyes ached. Her friend Ireti visited, trying to cheer her up.
Amara, Lagos people will laugh at anything. You rise again, Jare. But Amara's voice was low and broken. Ireti, they didn't just laugh. They destroyed me. My dream, my name, everything. She scrolled through the comments, people mocking her wit, her looks, even her accent. Some said she bribed her way onto the runway. Others edited memes, turning her photo into jokes. That night, she stared at her reflection in the mirror. Her once fiery eyes looked dull. Maybe I should just stop dreaming. Maybe I'm not meant for this world. She reached for her phone, hovered over the delete account button, but something stopped her. Among thousands of hateful messages, one comment stood out. It was from a username she didn't recognize, at Chuka Visuals. You didn't fall. The world just blinked while you walked. Keep walking. She stared at it for a long moment. A stranger, in a sea of mockery, saw something else. It didn't erase the pain, but it planted a tiny seed of defiance. The next day, she walked to Yaba Market, her hoodie pulled low to hide her face. She passed stalls filled with Ankara fabrics, women arguing about sizes and fittings, and designers displaying slim mannequins wearing clothes that would never fit a real Lagos woman. At a small corner, she overheard two plus-size women complaining. "See as this lace fine, but they no get my size again, no? Na so then they do, like say fast people no suppose wear fine clothes." Something inside Amara shifted. For the first time in days, she smiled faintly. She entered a nearby stall to buy a bottle of water and saw an old sewing machine pushed into a corner. The tailor there, a young woman with bright eyes and a headscarf tied stylishly, was sketching designs in a notepad. Amara paused, admiring the drawings, bold, curvy silhouettes in Ankara and lace. "Wow," she said softly. "You designed these?" The girl looked up, startled but proud. "Yes, but nobody wants them. They say plus size no dey sell." Amara's lips curved into a small knowing smile. "Then maybe Lagos needs to see what plus size can sell." The tailor laughed, half amused, half confused. "You get big dream more auntie." "I've been laughed at before," Amara replied, her eyes hardening. "This time, I'll make them choke on it." And with that, the idea began to bloom, quiet, fierce, unstoppable. That night, Amara returned home and opened her phone again. The viral video was still trending, but she didn't delete it. Instead, she saved it. "They'll need this clip for comparison later," she whispered. She opened a new page on Instagram, typed the handle name, Orobo Chic Official, and hit create. Her first post was a black square with the caption, "They mocked my size. I'm about to design theirs." It got 5 likes, but she didn't care. It was the beginning of something Lagos would never forget. As the city lights flickered outside her window, Amara scribbled late into the night, sketches of curvy women in bold colors, lace hugging their hips, Ankara flaring like flames. The laughter still echoed in her memory, but now it fueled her fire. She looked at her reflection one more time and smiled. "They called me Orobo. I'll make it my brand." Outside, thunder rumbled across the city, rain beginning to fall, as if Lagos itself was washing away her past. And in that storm, a new queen was quietly born.
Morning heat poured through the dusty window of Amara's small room in Surulere. She sat cross-legged on her bed, surrounded by sketches, bold, fearless designs of curvy women in vibrant Ankara, the kind Lagos had never seen. Each stroke of her pencil felt like rebellion. Her stomach growled. She had skipped breakfast, but her mind was on fire. "If they won't give me the runway, I'll build mine right in the streets." By noon, she was walking through Yaba Market, the beating heart of Lagos fashion. The air buzzed with noise, traders shouting prices, tailors arguing with customers, the hum of generators cutting through Afro beats blasting from his speaker. She stopped by the same tailor stall she'd seen before, Ngozi's atelier, barely wide enough for 2 people. Ngozi looked up from her sewing machine, a smile lighting up her brown face. "Ah, my plus-size designer friend has come back." Amara grinned shiny. "Call me Amara. I couldn't stop thinking about your sketches." Ngozi chuckled, pushing aside a pile of half-stitched lace. "Those sketches, they are just dreams. I make school uniforms now. Real designs no dey pay." "Then let's make them pay," Amara said, her voice steady. Ngozi blinked. "You mean collaborate?" "Yes. You have the skill, I have the vision. Together, we can start something new." Ngozi hesitated, then leaned back in her chair, eyeing Amara carefully. "Do you even have money to start?" Amara smiled, a small, knowing smile. "Not yet, but I have something better. Anger." Ngozi burst into laughter. "Hunger no fit buy fabric, oh. It can create what fabric will carry.
Amara replied, eyes glinting. For the next 2 weeks, Amara returned to Yaba every morning after her boutique job. She and Ngozi walked under the tin roof of the stall, stitching, arguing, experimenting. They designed their first outfit, a bold two-piece Ankara gown with gold trimming. Amara modeled it herself in the market street, her head held high as people stared. "Ngozi, take the photo," she ordered. Ngozi used an old phone to snap pictures. Men passing by slowed down to stare. Some women whispered, others nodded approvingly. "It fits you well, oh. See how you carry yourself," one elderly trader shouted. Another added. Amara turned to Ngozi. "You see, that's our audience. Real women, not Victoria Island perfection. Market queens, church ladies, curvy wives, that's who we are making for." Ngozi nodded, her earlier doubts fading. "Okay, Madame Vision, what next?" Amara looked at the street, eyes alive. "Next, we build our name." They tried approaching several boutique owners in Yaba and Surulere to showcase their first design, but the responses were discouraging. One store owner glanced at the dress and scoffed. "It's too loud. People want simplicity, not this kind of flamboyant nonsense." Another laughed outright. "Who will buy this? Fat people don't spend money on fashion like that." Amara clenched her fists, forcing a smile. "You will regret those words one day." As they left the last store, Ngozi sighed. "Maybe we should slow down. Wait till we get more money." But Amara stopped walking. The street was busy, the noise overwhelming, but her voice cut through. "No, Ngozi. If we wait for permission, we will die waiting. Let's take Lagos by surprise." A week later, she convinced a friend who ran a small bar in Saboyaba to let them host a mini fashion pop-up. They cleared the wooden benches, hung fairy lights, and called a few neighborhood women to model. The music was loud, the lights dim, and the excitement contagious. When Amara walked out wearing their first gown, even the random customers stopped drinking to watch. Her confidence filled the room. "This is Orobo Chic," she announced, turning in slow, graceful spins. "For every woman they said didn't fit, this is your fit." The small crowd erupted in cheers. Even Ngozi's eyes glistened with pride. "We did it." As they packed up that night, a sleek black car pulled up outside the bar. A woman in a power suit stepped out, tall, elegant, with sharp cheekbones. "You are the one they call Amara?" she asked. Amara froze. "Yes, ma. I'm Mrs. Ezenwa. I designed for Ezenwa Couture. I saw your photos on someone's WhatsApp status. You have courage." Ngozi gasped, whispering, "That's one of Lagos's biggest designers." Mrs. Ezenwa smiled faintly. "You remind me of myself 20 years ago. Come to Victoria Island tomorrow. I might have a proposal for you." Before she could respond, the woman returned to her car and drove off. Ngozi turned to Amara, speechless. Amara's heart raced. "Ngozi, this is it." "What if it's another trap?" Ngozi asked cautiously. Amara looked at the road the car had vanished down, determination flickering in her eyes. "Then let it be the last trap I ever fall into." That night, Amara couldn't sleep. Her mind replayed Mrs. Ezenwa's words again and again. Somewhere between fear and excitement, she realized the fire in Yaba had finally caught someone's attention, someone powerful. Tomorrow could change everything, or destroy everything. And for the first time, she didn't care which, as long as the world remembered her name. "Orobo Chic," she whispered in the darkness. "Let's begin."
The next morning, Victoria Island looked like another planet compared to Yaba. Glass buildings glittered in the sun. Luxury cars glided past designer stores. Even the air smelled different, expensive, perfumed, and proud. Amara clutched her bag nervously as she stood outside Ezen Couture, one of Lagos's most exclusive fashion houses. The golden letters on the wall shimmered like a dare. Ngozi had insisted on coming with her, but Amara had refused. "If this goes wrong, let it be my mistake alone," she'd said. Now standing there, in her neatly ironed Ankara dress and thrift heels, she wondered if she'd made a mistake already. The receptionist, a slim, fair lady with perfect nails, looked her up and down. "You have an appointment?" "Yes," Amara said softly. "With Mrs. Ezenwa." The receptionist raised a brow. "And your name?" "Amara. Ebune Amara." Something flickered in the woman's eyes. Recognition, perhaps. She picked up the phone, spoke quietly, and then said, "Mrs. Ezenwa will see you now." Mrs. Ezenwa's office was a palace of fabric and light. Rolls of lace glittered on shelves, sketches lined the walls, and framed magazine covers showed her posing with celebrities. The woman herself sat behind a glass desk, legs crossed, eyes sharp as a scalpel. "So, the infamous plus-size model who turned Yaba into a runway," she began. Amara hesitated. "Ma, I don't—" "Relax," Mrs. Ezenwa interrupted, waving a hand. "That's a compliment. You have presence and nerve. Lagos loves nerve." She stood, circling Amara slowly like a predator inspecting prey. "Tell me something, Amara. Do you want revenge or relevance?" Amara blinked, unsure what she meant. "I want both," she finally said. Mrs. Ezenwa smiled coldly. "Good answer. Here's my offer. I'll sponsor your next collection under my brand. You'll get full access to fabrics, photographers, everything. In return, I'll own the designs. 50-50 partnership." Amara's heart leapt. It sounded like a dream, but something in her tone made her stomach twist. Still, she forced a smile. "Thank you, Ma. I'll make you proud." Mrs. Ezenwa extended her manicured hand. "Then welcome to Ezen Couture's new body line." The next few weeks were a blur of work and wonder. Amara was given a small design office, fabrics, and even interns. Her designs, rich Ankara gowns and stylish ready-to-wear sets, began to take shape under the label Ezen Couture Curves. She appeared in interviews beside Mrs. Ezenwa, who introduced her as her protégée. Fashion blogs started calling Amara the bold new face of Lagos curves. But soon, cracks began to show. Whenever Amara suggested bold plus-size models, Mrs. Ezenwa would shake her head. "Let's just slim them down a bit. Curvy, not too curvy. You understand." She'd laugh softly, but Amara didn't. At photo shoots, Mrs. Ezenwa would instruct photographers to edit the folds, to lighten her tone, to make her look aspirational. "You are beautiful, Amara, but beauty must sell. Lagos doesn't want reality, it wants fantasy." One evening, Amara stayed late to pick up some designs she had left behind. As she approached the studio, she heard voices inside. Mrs. Ezenwa's voice, low and sharp. "That Amara girl, she's a fad. I'll use her designs, make my millions, then move on. People forget faces, they remember fashion names. She'll be lucky if she gets a thank you note." Amara froze. Her heart hammered in her chest. The sketches she'd spent sleepless nights creating, the same ones Mrs. Ezenwa had promised to co-brand, were lying on the desk, now stamped with Ezen Couture's logo only. She stepped inside quietly. "You were going to remove my name?" Mrs. Ezenwa turned, unfazed. "Business, my dear. You should be grateful I gave you a platform." "A platform to steal my work?" "Steal?" the designer smirked. "I refined it. Lagos doesn't celebrate fat dreams. It celebrates finished products. You should learn that." Amara's voice trembled with fury. "I trusted you, and I used that trust wisely. Go home, Amara. Before you burn a bridge you'll never rebuild. Amara stormed out, tears blurring her vision. Outside, the night was humid, heavy with disappointment. The laughter, the insults, the runway humiliation, all of it flashed through her mind again. But this time, she didn't cry. She clenched her fists, breathing hard. You think I need your name to shine? You'll see, Ezenwa. I'll make them forget yours. She tore the visitor's pass from her neck, dropped it on the pavement, and walked into the night, shoes clicking like war drums. The next morning, Amara was back in Yaba. Ngozi nearly dropped her needle when she saw her. Amara, what happened? You didn't even call. Amara's eyes were red but burning with fire. They used me, stole my designs, mocked my body again, but this time they'll regret it. Ngozi frowned. So what now? Amara spread her sketches across the table. Now we build Orobo Chic from scratch, with our own sweat, our own truth, our own story. Ngozi hesitated, biting her lip. But we're broke. Then we'll start with one dress, Amara said fiercely. We'll sew, we'll shoot, and we'll sell. They laughed at my walk. Let's see if they can laugh at my empire. That evening, under the flickering light of Ngozi's sewing bulb, they began again. The noise of Yaba filled the air, car horns, vendors shouting, buses honking. But Amara barely heard any of it. Her hands moved swiftly across the paper. Ngozi stitched with determination. The night deepened, the generator hummed, and the fire inside both women burned brighter than ever. Orobo Chic, Amara whispered. This time, no one steals it. And outside, the city of Lagos glittered, unaware that two women, under a leaking tin roof in Yaba, were about to change the definition of beauty forever. And as the first rays of dawn touched the horizon, Amara smiled to herself. The devil lives in Victoria Island, but angels rise from Yaba.
The rain had just stopped, and Yaba smelled of wet dust and determination. Inside the tiny stall, Ngozi was hunched over the sewing machine, her foot tapping furiously on the pedal, while Amara ironed the last piece of fabric. They had spent 3 sleepless weeks building a dream out of scraps, literally. Old fabrics, borrowed lights, second-hand mannequins, and a battered camera from a friend who said, "Use it well, oo. If it breaks, we're both finished." But Amara didn't care. Every stitch, every thread, every photo was a statement. We are not invisible. It happened on a Sunday afternoon. They set up their studio on the street corner, beside a painted wall, using yellow downfalls and graffiti as their backdrop. Amara modeled the designs herself, bright Ankara gowns that hugged her curves and flowed like confidence reborn. Children gathered to watch. Vendors paused their sales. Someone shouted, "Ah, this one fine, oh, now we designer." Amara smiled and shouted back, "Orobo Chic." Ngozi snapped pictures, laughing between takes. For the first time since her humiliation, Amara felt alive. After the shoot, they went to a cyber cafe, uploaded the pictures, and posted them on Instagram with the caption, "For every woman they said wasn't beautiful enough, this is for you. Hashtag Orobo Chic, real body pride." Then they waited. The next morning, their post had barely 30 likes. Ngozi groaned. Maybe Naija no send us. But Amara refused to give up. You don't plant today and harvest tomorrow. Over the next few days, she went from store to store, trying to convince boutiques to carry their dresses. Most owners smiled politely, then declined. One even said, "Your design's fine, but plus-size people no like buy online. I'm too shy." Amara laughed bitterly. Then we'll sell confidence first. The clothes will follow. Still, rejection hurt. Bills piled up. They ran out of fabric money. Their generator broke down. One night, Amara sat outside the stall, watching the street lights flicker. Her hands trembled from exhaustion. Ngozi, maybe they are right. Maybe Lagos isn't ready for us. Ngozi looked up from the machine, sweat glistening on her brow. Lagos never ready for anything new. You make 'em ready. Amara stared at her, and for the first time, believed her. 1 week later, luck arrived disguised as chaos. A popular Instagram influencer, Tolu Baibi, was driving through Yaba for a street food vlog when her car broke down near our stall. While she waited for her driver to fix the tire, her eyes caught Amara's mannequin, wearing a fiery red Ankara dress that shimmered in the light. She walked closer. Who made this? Ngozi almost fainted. We did, ma. We? Yes, ma. Orobo Chic, designed by Amara. Tolubabi smiled, intrigued. I like it. Bring one my size. Ngozi froze. Your size? Yes, ma. Don't look shocked. I'm not as slim as my filter makes me look, she laughed. They hurriedly adjusted one dress for her. She wore it on her vlog that night. By morning, Orobo Chic had over 5,000 followers and dozens of new orders. Ngozi danced around the stall, singing, "We don't blow. Amara, we don't blow." But Amara wasn't celebrating yet. She just whispered, "Not yet. This is only the beginning." 3 days later, an email arrived. Ezene Couture, Public Relations Department. Amara's hands trembled as she opened it. Cease and desist. Unauthorized usage of copyrighted designs belonging to Ezene Couture. Immediate closure of Orobo Chic brand or face legal consequences. Ngozi's mouth fell open. They want to destroy us, so? Amara's face darkened. She's scared. Mrs. Ezenwan knows what's coming. They didn't have money for lawyers. They didn't even have proper business registration yet. For 2 nights, Amara didn't sleep. She thought about giving up again, but something stronger than fear rose in her chest. We won't hide, she said firmly. If they want a war, we'll fight it with creativity. The next day, they released a new campaign, Mock Me, Watch Me, featuring real Lagos women, traders, teachers, mothers, and students, all modeling Orobo Chic designs proudly. The photos were raw, powerful, and unapologetic. No filters, no edits, no lies. Each photo was captioned with the woman's story, how she'd been called too fat, too dark, too local, yet now felt beautiful. The campaign exploded. TV stations called, blogs wrote headlines. The plus-size revolution, Orobo Chic shakes Lagos fashion. Even women from Ghana, Kenya, and South Africa began ordering online. Ngozi's phone wouldn't stop ringing. Amara's face appeared on a billboard in Ikeja, a picture of her smiling proudly in her red Ankara gown. She stood in front of it one evening, the setting sun glowing behind her. Her eyes watered as she whispered, "They laughed at me once. Now they wear my dream. But success has a shadow." One night, while packing orders, Ngozi rushed in breathless. "Amara, someone posted that your designs are copied from Ezene Couture. They are spreading pictures side by side." Amara's chest tightened. She opened her phone, and there it was. The same trolls, the same kind of mockery, just wearing new faces. But this time, she didn't delete the post. She took a deep breath, recorded a video instead. Standing in her stall with fabric behind her, she said, "They said I copied them. Maybe I copied strength from pain and courage from mockery. But this
This is Orobo Chic, and it belongs to every woman who's ever been told she's too much of something." Her voice shook at the end, but her eyes didn't. The video went viral instantly, not for fashion, but for truth. That night, as the city buzzed with conversation about Orobo Chic, Amara sat quietly under the dim bulb of her stall. Ngozi brought 2 bottles of malt. "To survival," she said, raising hers. Amara smiled faintly. "No," she said, clinking bottles. "To domination." The next morning, orders tripled. And somewhere across town, in her glass office, Mrs. Ezenwa watched the news with a clenched jaw. "So, the Orobo thinks she's a queen now. We'll see who laughs last." But the streets of Yaba had already chosen their queen.
Success came faster than Amara ever imagined and harder than she ever prepared for. Within 4 months, Orobo Chic had gone from a Yaba store to a rented studio space in Surulere. The name was everywhere, on t-shirts, hashtags, and even the tongues of people who once laughed at her. But fame is like Lagos traffic, sweet when it moves, frustrating when it stops. And soon, the road began to twist. It started with investors. 2 million from Lekki arrived one afternoon, all smiles and expensive perfume. "Madam Amara, you are changing the game," said Mr. Kalu, the talkative one. "We want to partner. You bring the brand, we bring the millions." Amara looked at the contract. It sounded too good to be true. 30 million naira in exchange for 40% ownership. Ngozi's eyes widened. 30 million? Amara, we can finally move to Victoria Island. But Amara frowned, her instincts whispering question. "What's the catch?" The men exchanged quick glances. "No catch, madam, just trust and growth." Amara smiled politely. "Lagos has taught me never to trust what glitters too early. Let me think about it." When they left, Ngozi sighed. "You are too careful sometimes." "That's why we're still standing," Amara replied. Weeks later, Orobo Chic made history. They were invited to showcase at Lagos Fashion Week, the same event where Amara had once been laughed off the runway. When the letter came, Amara stared at it for a long time, her hands trembling. "Ngozi, we are going back to the same stage that broke me," she whispered. Ngozi said softly, "Then walk on it like it belongs to you." The preparations were brutal. New designs, new models, new fabric, but every moment was a declaration of war on the old-fashioned order. The night of the event, cameras flashed like lightning. Amara's models, all plus size, radiant, fearless, strutted in Ankara gowns that celebrated flesh, not hid it. The crowd rose to their feet. Even critics were speechless. And when Amara appeared at the end, in a royal purple dress, her head high and smile steady, the hall erupted. It wasn't applause, it was redemption. But success draws shadows. The next morning, Amara's phone exploded with messages. A scandal had broken online. An anonymous account had posted fake proof that Orobo Chic stole fabric funds meant for widows through a fake NGO. The story spread fast. Headlines screamed, "Orobo Chic founder caught in financial fraud. Lagos's body positivity queen in hot soup." Ngozi burst into the office waving her phone. "Amara, this is madness. We don't even have an NGO." Amara's head pounded. "Someone is setting us up. This isn't random." Her eyes hardened. "Is it Zenwa?" Ngozi gasped. "But how?" "She couldn't stop us in the market, so she's coming for us in the media." Within days, half of their customers cancelled orders. Investors backed out. Even Tolubai, the influencer who helped them rise, removed their tag. One evening, Amara sat alone in her studio, lights off, tears streaming silently. The weight of betrayal and exhaustion pressed on her chest. Ngozi entered quietly, carrying 2 cups of pap and akara. "Eat something, my sister." Amara shook her head. "We are finished, Ngozi. 1 room more and everything we built." "No," Ngozi said firmly. "We built this with truth. The truth doesn't die that easily." 2 days later, a nervous knock echoed at the studio door. It was one of Mrs. Ezewa's junior staff, a young intern Amara had met during her time there. "Auntie Amara, please forgive me. I have something to tell you," she whispered. Amara frowned. "What is it?" "It was Madame Ezenwa. She told me to post the fake documents.
She even paid some bloggers to trend the story. She said she will ruin you before you ruin her. Ngozi's jaw dropped. So it was true. The girl handed Amara a flash drive. All the evidence is here. I can't keep quiet anymore. You inspired me too much. Amara took the drive, her fingers trembling. You just gave me back my fight. That night, Amara called a journalist she trusted. By morning, exclusive headlines hit the internet. Orobo Chic scandal exposed, Ezenwa Kuto behind false accusations. Screenshots, receipts, and audio clips were everywhere. Public sympathy swung instantly back to Amara. By noon, her studio was flooded with calls. Brands wanted to apologize, customers wanted to return, and the same influencers who had abandoned her were back. Ngozi shook her head in disbelief. Lagos people no get shame. Amara just smiled. I don't need their shame. I have my crown. A month later, she bought a 2-story building in Victoria Island, right across from Ezenwa Kuto. On opening day, banners fluttered with gold letters. Orobo Chic headquarters. Beauty has no size. Cameras flashed as Amara cut the ribbon. Reporters swarmed her. Madam Amara, how does it feel to stand where your journey began? Amara smiled, eyes glistening. It feels like victory wearing heels. Across the street, through the tinted windows of Ezenwa Kuto, Mrs. Ezenwa watched, pale, furious, defeated. Amara turned deliberately towards her, lifted her chin and smiled, the same smile she wore the night she stumbled on that runway years ago. That night, Lagos glowed brighter than usual. The city had crowned a new queen, one who rose not from money or privilege, but from pain and persistence. Amara stood on the balcony of her new office, wind brushing her face, city lights glittering below. Ngozi joined her, holding a glass of malt. We made it, Amara. Not yet, Amara said softly, staring at the skyline. Because even though her empire had risen, another test was coming that would demand more than strength or success. It would demand her heart.
The grand opening of Orobo Chic headquarters was still the talk of Lagos. Billboards flashed her smile. Magazines printed her story. Talk shows debated her message. And everywhere Amara went, people whispered her name with awe. That's the woman who changed fashion. But behind the fame and luxury, silence began to grow. Ngozi noticed it first. Amara had become quiet, too quiet. She spent long hours in her new glass office, staring out at the city. Her old laughter, once loud and contagious, had faded into something calmer, heavier. One evening, Ngozi entered with reports. Sales are up again this week. We might hit 20 million this quarter. Amara smiled faintly. That's good, Ngozi. You've done well.
We've done well, Ngozi corrected. There was an awkward pause. Amara's phone buzzed. She glanced at it, frowned, then faced Ngozi. Ngozi, I need to ask you something important. Anything. Did you authorize the shipment to Ghana last week? Ngozi blinked. No, I thought you did. Why? Because someone used our company account to send 40 pieces. No payment, no invoice. Ngozi's eyes widened. That's impossible. Only you and I have access. Amara stared at her for a long moment. Too long. That's what scares me. That night, Amara couldn't sleep. Her mind replayed every small thing. Ngozi's late arrivals, her sudden quietness, her new phone. No, it couldn't be. Not Ngozi. Still, doubt crept in like smoke. The next morning, she called her accountant, Mr. Emeka. Check the Ghana shipment, she instructed. By afternoon, he returned with news that hit like thunder. Madam Amara, the shipment was confirmed by someone using Ngozi's login credentials, and the receiving account in Ghana, it belongs to a company, Ngozi Designs Limited. Amara's world tilted.
She couldn't breathe. Her best friend, her sister in struggle, the one who had stitched dreams beside her under flickering bulbs in Yaba. When Ngozi arrived, later humming as usual, Amara was waiting. The office was cold, silent, filled with tension. "Ngozi," she said quietly, "how long have you been building your own brand behind my back?" Ngozi froze. "What are you talking about?" "Don't lie. I have proof. You used our account, my designs, for your own label in Ghana." Tears welled in Ngozi's eyes. "Amara, I didn't mean to betray you. I felt invisible. You became the face, the story, the queen. Everyone forgot I existed." Amara's heart twisted. "Ngozi, I gave you half of everything. You are never invisible. Then why did you get all the credit? Every headline said Amara built Orobo Chic, like I was just a tailor. Because you didn't fight for the spotlight. I did. Do you know what I endured? The mockery, the shame, the humiliation. You joined when the fire was already lit." The room fell silent. Ngozi's tears fell freely. "Maybe I'm not strong like you, Amara, but I wanted to shine too." Amara turned away, her voice breaking. "You could have shone beside me, not behind me, not against me." Ngozi covered her face, sobbing. "I'm sorry, I just wanted to feel important." Amara stared at her for a long time, fighting anger and heartbreak. "Leave the office for now. We'll talk after the lawyer sort this out." Days turned into weeks. Amara buried herself in work, pretending the betrayal hadn't cut her soul open. But every time she passed the design room, she could still hear Ngozi's laughter, echoing like a ghost. Her staff avoided the topic. Lagos media caught wind of the rumor, but didn't dare publish it. One evening, while closing up, Amara found a small envelope on her desk. Inside was Ngozi's sewing pin, the one she used from their first day together, and a short note. "Thank you for teaching me to dream, even if I ruined mine." Tears blurred her eyes. She realized then that power meant nothing if it cost her the one person who believed in her before the world did. Weeks later, Orobo Chic was nominated for Africa's Fashion Legacy Award. The ceremony glittered with lights, celebrities, and photographers. When Amara's name was announced, the crowd roared. She stepped onto the stage, wearing a stunning gold gown that shimmered like sunlight. The host handed her the microphone. "Madame Amara, you've redefined African fashion. What's your secret?" She paused. For a long, breathless moment, the hall was silent. Then she said, "My secret? Failure, mockery, and one friend who believed in me before the world did." She smiled sadly. "Ngozi, wherever you are, this award is ours." The hall erupted again, this time with emotion. People rose to their feet, clapping, cheering, crying. After the ceremony, Amara stepped outside, heels clicking against marble. A familiar voice called behind her. "You still give long speeches, eh?" She turned, and there was Ngozi, standing by the garden, humble but smiling. Ngozi, they stared at each other, 1,000 memories between them. Finally, Amara walked forward and pulled her into a hug. No words, just forgiveness. Ngozi whispered, "You are still the queen." Amara smiled faintly. "No, we are. The fire started in Yaba, remember?" Ngozi laughed through tears. "I'll never forget." They stood under the night sky, the city lights glowing around them like witnesses.
Months later, Orobo Chic Foundation for Curvy Women in Fashion opened its doors. It trained hundreds of plus-size models, designers, and tailors, all from humble backgrounds. Amara's quote was written in gold on the wall. "They laughed at my body. Now my body walks the runway of power." And beside it, another line in smaller letters read, "Dedicated to Unguzi, the needle behind the dream." Years later, Amara stood backstage at another Lagos fashion fiesta, the same runway where she had once stumbled, laughed at, humiliated. Now, she was the guest of honor. As the music started, a young plus-size model walked the runway, wearing a gown from Orobo Chic's latest collection. The crowd cheered, cameras flashed, and Amara felt tears sting her eyes. She whispered under her breath. They mocked the fat girl, but she modeled strength. And as the applause thundered through the hall, Amara smiled, not for the fame, not for revenge, but for peace. The girl who once stumbled taught a continent to walk tall. Because true beauty was never about size, it was about soul.